Did you know there is a fundamental element of your brand that can make or break your connection with your audience? Just like when you meet someone for the first time, this one thing will determine whether or not you want to learn more. I'm talking about brand voice, our topic today on Brand for Good.
Welcome to Brand for Good, the show for purpose-driven leaders who want to build timeless brands and create sustainable impact. I'm Lorraine Sugart, former PR and marketing executive turned founder of the disruptive agency Prosper for Purpose. I've worked with some of the world's most beloved brands, and I'm here to help you elevate your brand identity, visibility, influence, and impact. Are you ready to brand for good? Let's go.
Welcome back, friends. Today we'll cover why brand voice is so important, the key differences between brand voice and tone, and practical steps on how to develop a compelling brand voice for your business. We'll also look at some exemplary brands like Dove, Athleta, and Warby Parker, who have mastered the art of brand voice. Let's start with what brand voice is and why it's crucial for your brand's success. Brand voice is the unique way your brand communicates with its audience. It encompasses the words, phrases, and overall style you use in your messaging, and it remains consistent across all your communications. A strong, consistent brand voice builds reliability and trust. It helps your audience recognize and understand your brand, and it ideally fosters a sense of familiarity and loyalty. Think about Dove, for example. Dove's commitment to real beauty and empowerment shines through in all of its messaging. Whether it's an ad or a social media post, Dove consistently uses a voice that is compassionate, uplifting, and sincere. This consistency reinforces Dove's brand identity and its promise to celebrate all kinds of beauty. A reliable brand voice ensures that your message is clear and recognizable, no matter where or how your audience encounters it. Think about a time you were in a crowded place and you recognize someone's voice from across the room. Brand voice is like that, and it's particularly important in today's multi-channel marketing landscape. So now let's clarify the difference between brand voice and tone, as they are often confused. While brand voice is about what you say and it stays consistent, your brand tone is about how you say it, and it can change depending on the context or the environment. So I use this real life example with my clients. Imagine yourself speaking to an audience of your peers. Your posture is erect, your voice is professional. Suddenly, your phone pings with an incoming call from your best friend or perhaps one of your children. You leave the room to take the call. What happens to your voice as you answer? The tone changes. It's softer, more relaxed. Your pitch may go up while your volume goes down. Now imagine this as brand voice. Brand voice is the unchanging essence of how your brand communicates, while tone, on the other hand, is the mood or emotion conveyed in a specific message, and it can adapt based on the situation. So, for example, the tone of an email about serious changes in your company might be more formal and reassuring, while a social media post announcing a new fun product or program might be lighthearted, inviting, and enthusiastic. Warby Parker is a great example here. Known for their witty yet approachable communication style, Warby Parker adjusts their tone to fit different platforms and messages. Their emails are a little bit more informative and they're straightforward about their products, while their social media posts often carry a playful and engaging tone. Despite these changes in tone, however, their voice remains consistently friendly and clever. So now let's move on and talk about how you can develop your brand voice, a brand voice that resonates with your audience. Here are my 5 top steps to help you craft a compelling brand voice. Start by identifying what your brand stands for. So, identify your brand's core values, your mission. We've already covered this in previous episodes. Think about those to form the foundation of your voice. So, for example, if you're someone who stands for a new paradigm in your market, your core values are going to be to disrupt the status quo, and you're going to carry that through and how your voice sounds. Your voice is going to be leading, it's going to be perhaps somewhat provocative. These kinds of goals and values will help you form the foundation of your brand voice. Secondly, and equally, if not even as important, you need to understand who you're talking to. What are your audience's interests, values, pain points, passions? Your brand voice should resonate with this target audience and feel like you are speaking directly to them. Once you get these two somewhat down, next you want to develop a brand voice guide. So, this can be a chart that outlines the key attributes of your brand voice. You can list words like friendly, authoritative, humorous, empathetic, empowering. And then you can use that chart or list as a guide for all your communications. Another thing I like to do is put in some of your brand expressions. So, if you have sayings that you, as the founder or your company, has developed as kind of trademark statements, or even if they're not unique to you, that they're unusual, they're not in the common lexicon, add those there as well. This will help you in the short term as you're assessing your copy to ensure that it is on voice, but it will also help you in the long term or even the short term if you have other people writing for the company. So it's a good reference point for anyone who may be doing any kind of writing for you. Next, we want to ensure consistency across your channels. So whether it's your website, your social media, your email marketing, anything that you create, your brand voice should be consistent. And again, just to underscore this, this is critical in building a recognizable and trustworthy brand. And then finally, which a lot of people don't talk about this, but you can not only maintain your brand voice, and you should be doing that, checking in at least once a year when you kind of reassess your brand. Are we heading the right direction? Are the things that we're saying aligning with our vision, values, and goals? But you also want to look at, should we be evolving our brand voice? Because as you evolve and grow, or your company evolves and grows, your brand voice should be brought along. Regularly review and update your voice as necessary to ensure that it stays relevant and aligned with your brand's purpose and goals. Now, Athleta is an example of a brand that has successfully developed and maintained a strong brand voice, and it's actually evolved from where Athleta used to be. Athleta became a certified B Corp, and its voice evolved and developed to be even more empowering and inclusive, reflecting Athleta's commitment to supporting women in all aspects of their lives. So, this voice is consistent across all Athleta's marketing materials, their website, their social media, and it works. Athleta has built a very strong and cohesive brand identity. Similarly, Prosper for Purpose, the company behind this podcast, my business, reflects a strong brand voice around doing well by doing good. It also aligns itself with other strong brand voices by being a certified B Corp. This commitment is reflected in everything we do and say, ensuring our voice is consistent and impactful. So, to recap, a strong brand voice is essential for building a reliable and recognizable brand. Understanding the difference between brand voice and tone allows you to communicate effectively across various channels while maintaining your brand's identity. By following the steps we've discussed, you can develop a brand voice that truly resonates with your audience and supports your brand's purpose, mission, and goals. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Brand for Good. I hope you found it insightful and are inspired to go and refine your own brand voice. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast, leave a review, and join us for our next episode where we'll take this to the next step and talk about your brand's key messages. We will continue exploring how to build successful and impactful brands. Until then, keep building your brand for good.
Thank you so much for tuning in to the Brand for Good show. If you like what you heard, please hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and leave a review so other purpose-driven leaders can find this valuable content. To learn more about building a brand for good, please visit prosperforpurpose.com for more resources and information on all the ways you can work with us.